Tonight on CTV News at 6. Firefighters from across the country are moving in to help Ontario in its time of need.
Until you see the operations, you can't understand the whole scope of it.
We'll have the latest on the wildfire situation facing the north. Plus, no one is injured following a car fire in downtown Timmins Thursday in the middle of the day. And a new poll gives the Liberals a 5-point edge over Doug Ford's Progressive Conservatives.
I think people are really concerned about affordability. And so any sort of story that touches upon that is really dangerous.
One pollster says that hotel scandal may have really hurt the Premier's party.
CTV News at 6 with Marina Moore and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Marina is off. Fire crews continue to work at suppressing wildland fires across northern Ontario, and now they're getting help from counterparts across the country. CTV's Angela Gemmell starts us off tonight with the latest.
No new fires in the last 24 hours. That news from the Ministry of Natural Resources today as crews continue to suppress the 172 active wildfires still burning in Ontario. And officials on the ground are getting some much needed help in what has already been a devastating wildfire season. In its most up-to-date stats, the MNR says there are 172 active wildland fires in northern Ontario, including 134 in the northwest. 31 of those fires are not under control. Fire crews are working around the clock to respond to the fires.
And until you see the operations, you can't understand the whole scope of it and how hard they're working day in and day out, 24 hours a day.
17 fire ranger crews and other staff from northeastern Ontario have been deployed to help counterparts in the northwest. Out-of-province resources include aircrafts, fire engines, and firefighters from Alberta, plus staff from New Brunswick, Yukon Territory, and Newfoundland, along with resources from the Pan-Canadian Aerial Asset Program. The MNR says more than 739,000 hectares have burnt across northern Ontario, with one of the largest, known as Thunder Bay 36, recently remapped at 315,000 hectares. The forest fires have forced more than 1,800 people from their homes as more than a dozen communities have evacuated, some of them with no homes to return to, as officials call this one of the most intense fire seasons on record. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Time for our first check on weather. CTV's Amanda Hicks joins us live from the Weather Center. Amanda, it sounds like there's some serious weather moving through the north.
Absolutely, and that's concentrated across the far northwest of us, Ian. And let's take a look here with, we'll start with the yellow on the screen here. Environment Canada has issued a tornado warning in effect for the areas in yellow, which is, Dryden, Kenora areas. Above that, we've got broader severe thunderstorm watches and warnings across the northern half of the region. But by the time that weather gets to us, though, it's going to taper off. Throughout the weekend, we're going to see a chance of showers, some more, some less, depending on where we are. Temperatures are going to remain steady at the seasonal mark for this time of year, but I'll have more details coming up a bit later on, just how much rain we're going to see, whether we're going to see some sunshine. All of those details will be coming up a bit later on, but for now, Ian, back to you.
That's good news. Thanks, Amanda. Sudbury police have arrested a 33-year-old after a robbery at a business on Regent Street near the city's south end. According to investigators, they received a report last night around 11 that a man had entered a business demanding cash, saying there was an armed individual outside waiting. The suspect fled the scene but was located in the city's downtown core 30 minutes later. Police say they recovered a portion of the cash, but no firearm. And luckily, there were no injuries following this stunning scene yesterday afternoon in Timmins at the corner of Preston and Algonquin Boulevard. A white SUV bursting into flames in front of the Preston apartments. It didn't take long for fire crews to get the blaze under control. City officials telling CTV News the driver was able to pull over and call 911. No word yet on what started the fire or the incident, but again, there were no injuries. Highway 108 was closed heading into Elliott Lake for a short time today due to a serious two-vehicle crash. It happened at Christie Lake Road and Highway 108. Not much is known about the investigation at this stage or if charges will be laid. One person was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Well, love it or hate it, artificial intelligence use is going up. Some restaurants in Northern Ontario have faced criticism for using the divisive tool. CTV's Madison Merrier explains.
One small business owner spoke about the anonymous hate she and other restaurants have been experiencing for their use of AI on social media.
If I could afford it, I would. I truly, truly would. But right now, I can't afford it. Every penny that I have goes right back into this business, keeping my employees employed, keeping my product available.
There are individuals that are boycotting organizations, especially small businesses, that may be using AI tools. I would caution against that. Look, these are small businesses. It's 80% of our economy.
Savage says she started advertising her business by word of mouth before diving into social media. She saw AI as a solution to keep up with big business marketing on a limited budget.
The hours that I'm working, not on their feet, not juggling multiple orders, not understanding the time and the availability we have, or let alone the funds that we have on a given basis.
Meanwhile, the McIntyre Coffee Shop and Catering in Timmins doesn't want to see AI replace what they find joy in.
Advertising and marketing should remain fun. It should be something that we have fun with, and that's how we did get a lot of the positive feedback from our community.
DCM says he doesn't like how AI photos lack creativity, which inspired him to turn to older software.
I noticed that a lot of restaurants, food trucks, and catering companies use these AI-generated menus with random stock images and the same, color formatting and everything. And I was walking one day and I just thought I should try and bake something on Paint. And I didn't even know if Paint was still a program and still around.
Kotek says AI has a significant impact on the environment. Some developments are being made to reduce water and energy consumption, but the demand for AI is outpacing environmental sustainability. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Improvements to the Victor M. Power Airport in Timmins are underway. Construction's begun on a $3.3 million multi-phase project. Renovations will include an expanded lounge, updated security screening area, and the terminal's exterior facade. The city's advising sections of the curbside parking lane will be closed to accommodate the work. Also, taxi and shuttle pickup and drop-off locations may shift throughout construction. They're asking people to follow signs and staff directions for safety. Vale says it's continuing to make progress in dismantling Sudbury Superstack. In its latest post to Facebook, the mining giant says the iconic structure has now been reduced to a total of 210 feet or 64 meters. Demolition into the facility or structure has been in full swing since June 1st. The Superstack now stands at 1,036 feet or a little more than 315 meters. It's now the third tallest freestanding structure in the country behind the CN Tower and First Canada Place in Toronto. There's more to come on CTV News at 6. For now, speaking of the Superstack, let's go to a live shot of the iconic Sudbury structure. This shot coming from our tower camera high above our station here on Frood Road in Sudbury. And it is looking like a gorgeous day, but a little birdie told me last night, meaning Amanda, that might not last. We'll check in with her for your full weather forecast coming up. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Growing tensions in the Middle East are raising new concerns about global oil supplies as prices continue to climb. Oil prices rose for a fifth straight day after Yemen's Houthi rebels said they had attacked two Saudi oil tankers, adding to concerns about global shipping through the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices topped $100 US a barrel for the first time since May. Meantime, gas prices have wildly fluctuated today in Sudbury, with some stations jumping 20 cents in less than 24 hours. This is how things looked down on Regent Street earlier today, with several stations registering around the $1.73 a liter. But there were other stations, including Costco on Kingsway, where the gas prices were still at $1.52 a liter. Canadians for Affordable Energy tell CTV News gas is retailing right now for about $1.67. It's predicting gas could even rise another 3 cents by tomorrow. With the threat of a strike looming, WestJet is giving some travelers a chance to change or cancel their bookings. The airline says passengers with flights scheduled for July 30th to August 4th can make a one-time change or cancellation without a fee. WestJet says the move is to give customers more flexibility and peace of mind. Last week, the airline's cabin crew voted over 99% in favor of walking off the job. The union says wages, unpaid work, and working conditions are the major sticking points. 4,400 workers could legally go on strike August 2nd. A new Liaison Strategies poll indicates the Ontario Liberals have a 5-point edge over Premier Doug Ford's PC party. The poll shows the Liberals with 38% support from decided and leaning voters, with the PCs trailing with 33%. The NDP trail with 24% support. Meanwhile, the poll shows support for Premier Doug Ford personally at 24%.
I think people are really concerned about affordability. And so any sort of story that touches upon that is really dangerous. And so here we have stories about government ministers, government MPPs who live in the city of Toronto deciding to book hotel rooms rather than just go home. And I think for a lot of people who are struggling with bills, hydro, groceries, every month, prices are going up. They're going and looking at this and saying, what is going on?
The poll used data from a random phone survey of 1,000 Ontarians. It has a margin of error of 3.1%, 19 times out of 20. A boil water advisory is now in place for Charlton, that from the Northeastern Public Health Unit. Affected residents are being told to bring water to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute before using or to use bottled water. It's the second in the area. Nearby Englehart has been under an advisory for 3 days now. There's no word yet on how long it will last. The Temagami Fire Department used a recent grant to get some new equipment. The department was selected for a $10,000 grant from TC Energy's Community Investment Fund, which allowed them to purchase gas detectors and an automated test system. The department says the gas detectors are a key piece of equipment that lets them know if there are hazardous gases present, allowing them to better plan their firefighting methods. A touching tribute today for a Blind River OPP officer, and one that has a public safety message attached. Once again this year, OPP placed a cruiser on the front lawn of the Blind River detachment, encouraging passers-by to slow down. The tradition was started by Constable Andrew Hall, affectionately known as Dance, who looked for creative ways in getting drivers to slow it down. He even placed a mannequin 1 year in the driver's seat. Dance passed away 10 years ago from ALS. May his memory be a blessing, and in his case, a lesson to us all. Warm days like today make us grateful, clearly, for things like splash pads and beaches. And in Sault Ste. Marie, the purchase of new accessibility equipment will allow people in wheelchairs to be full participants in those summertime activities. CTV's Gordie Nordstrom reports.
Who doesn't like to go to the beach on a hot, sunny day?
Diane Morel is proud to show off the newest addition to the Sault's Pointe de Chene beach.
Speaking from personal experience, when I go to the beach, it was really nice to be able to be there and look out on the water and feel the cooling breeze. But it's so much better if you can get into the water and cool yourself off.
The city's accessibility coordinator proudly displays the new water wheelchair that adults can now book at the public beach. And for kids, the municipality has also purchased 3 new water wheelchairs for its Bellevue Park and Manzo Park splash pads.
Children and youth with disabilities, physical disabilities, that have mobility equipment, it can't get wet. It has specialty seating, it doesn't dry well. Some of them have power components, so it's impossible for these children to be able to use the splash pad in their current seating. It's kind of like a tough screen kind of mesh, so it doesn't hold on to the water.
The chairs are among a number of accessibility changes made by the city, including enhanced parking at the beach and improved change tables at Bellevue Park.
It's important for people with disabilities to be immersed in our community and to be as active and part of everything going on as everybody else.
Booking can be done by visiting the water wheelchair section of the accessibility tab on the city's website. After registering, members of the public will receive further information and have the choice of their preferred date and time. Access is on a first-come, first-served basis. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Speaking of hot and sunny, back now for a check on the current conditions with Amanda Hicks. How's it looking out there, Amanda? I've got big plans for the weekend. Maybe gardening?
You should be good to do that, Ian. There's a few scattered showers here and there throughout the weekend, but it's not going to be a total washout by any means. Speaking of today, though, we got up to a high of 27, felt closer to 30 with the humidex, and as you saw in Corey's story there, it was a bright sunny day across much of the northeast, but temperatures are going to change as we get closer to Saturday. A little bit of a dip in temperatures, but let's talk about the here and now. Starting with Moosonee, it's still hot out there, sitting at 29 degrees, mix of sun and cloud across the board, a few more clouds in Cochrane and Timmins. In Wawa, we're only sitting at 20 degrees, a lot hotter in Chapleau and Sault Ste. Marie at 26. In Parry Sound, beautiful, bright, sunny day there, 25 degrees. And then mainly sunny skies in Kirkland Lake and Temiskaming Shores between 25 to 27 degrees. And then we've got sunshine for the most part, a few more clouds in Sudbury, sitting at 26. Ian.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Next on CTV News at 6. The ribbon is cut on the Gordie Howe Bridge. It's officially open and the Americans weren't invited. And the White House levies more tariffs against several countries, among them Canada. This morning, a milestone that's been decades in the making. The Gordie Howe Bridge connecting Windsor to Detroit officially opened today, creating a new connection between Canada and the United States. The $6 billion piece of infrastructure at times has been a point of controversy, with U.S. President Donald Trump weighing into the fray. Today, Canadian officials held their own ribbon cutting and no American guests were invited. CTV's Michelle Molesky reports.
A hockey game on Mr. Hockey's bridge.
I love how it's in Gordie Howe's name. Oh. Hockey's my favorite sport, so I think that it's amazing that we're out here doing this.
Not many people get to do this today.
Yeah, really excited and I'm really happy.
Leaders from Caldwell and Walpole Island First Nations blessed Windsor-Detroit's third border crossing.
God keep our land.
O Canada, sung by a CBSA officer with 25 years experience, who will now transfer to the new bridge as of Monday.
Is this a big day for you?
Yes, it's a huge day for me, and it's exciting. This has been long awaited for our opening, and so this is very exciting.
15,800 people worked on the bridge.
Their work carried out safely with high quality, and I can assure you real pride in what they've done here, is literally embedded in every element of where we stand today.
And having designed, built, and financed the longest cable-stayed span in North America, Bridging North America will now pivot to operating and maintaining it.
It includes the largest combined ports of entry on the Canadian-U.S. border, an extensive roadway network, and the technology and operations that will keep one of North America's most important trade corridors moving.
30 members of the Howe family traveled from across North America for the ribbon-cutting event.
Our parents loved life, and they loved people. They dedicated their lives to building bridges between people, between families, between communities, and between nations. This bridge will serve as an unmistakable symbol of the priceless bond and true friendship between the people of Canada and the people of the United States.
They stood shoulder to shoulder with politicians and builders for a moment that is more than 25 years in the making, a second bridge for Windsor-Detroit. CBSA then got right to work, processing the very first transport. This crossing is expected to save truckers 850,000 hours per year sitting idling on Windsor streets.
While today's ceremony looked different than originally planned, the focus remained on what this bridge represents: a lasting connection between Windsor and Detroit, stronger trade, and a major piece of infrastructure that will benefit both countries for decades. With more, here's CTV's Bob Belichigo.
Are you still holding your breath?
No, not anymore.
No. Like, is this exhale time?
This is exhale.
Local mayors feel today's ribbon cutting event was pivotal and all look forward to Monday's opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge.
This is the first step, and this is a great thing for our country. It's a great thing for our region. And I look forward to when the bridge is open. It's going to benefit all of us.
If I had been holding my breath this whole time, I wouldn't be here today. So I'm very optimistic. I'm a glass half full kind of person.
I am really optimistic and really excited to exhale. I think that we're going to see an opening on Monday.
I would be quite shocked if there was anything else to happen.
Former Windsor-Tecumseh MPP Dwight Duncan helped keep the bridge moving through its most critical years and hopes to personally watch vehicles travel across the bridge on Monday.
I will be watching from a distance, and then I'll begin to breathe if things start to happen.
U.S. President Donald Trump took to Truth Social today, commenting on Americans being disinvited to the ceremony, which he deemed fine, considering Canada is paying substantial tariffs to the U.S. He also pointed out the deal on the bridge no longer stands because the U.S. changed the terms of the deal, so the Americans get 50% of the profit. The Conservatives feel there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
Conservatives will be calling for the hearings at the International Trade Committee next week to get to the bottom of exactly what was the nature of this deal. We have many questions about how Canadian funds that have been siphoned off by the United States into their American fund will be spent.
Tecumseh Mayor Gary McNamara says imposing tariffs on Canada days before Friday's ceremony was the wrong thing to do. Many agree. An immortalized photo of hundreds of people from both sides of the border joining to celebrate the opening would have been nice.
We're still a family in a way, and this was an opportunity to meet in the middle, shake hands, and remind ourselves that we are in this together.
You know, they can do their celebration or whatever at the given time. But here's the thing, Bob. I mean, this bridge is going to be here for the next 100 years. He won't be here.
I'm still hopeful that sometime in the future we'll be able to close this bridge for an hour or two, have the official ribbon cutting in the middle with people from both sides of the border. I think that's what this type of construction with this bridge deserves.
Let's honor Gordie's legacy. Let's keep working together as two friends, allies, and proudly independent countries.
There's been yet another tariff announcement, as Bob Belichico just alluded to, from the United States. This time, the Trump administration is hitting dozens of countries, including Canada, over what they claim is forced labor in supply chains. This 10% duty was announced just hours before the previous tariff was set to expire. Canada, Mexico, and the UK are among the countries facing the 10% tariff, while other nations will see a 12.5% levy. Products covered by CUSMA are not affected. This is on top of separate tariffs already placed on Canada on sectors like steel, aluminum, and autos, along with the 50% proposed tariff announced on Monday.
You know, even if you're a country that probably doesn't have forced labor yourself, if you're allowing the import of goods made with forced labor, that makes it harder for my goods to compete because we're following labor rules in the U.S. We have labor unions, we have protections for our workers, and so we're trying to get every country to have the same kinds of protections we do to make sure that trade in forced labor isn't occurring, so that our workers, our exporters, our companies don't have to compete against that on an unlevel playing field.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc releasing a statement that reads in part, Canada has one of the most robust regimes in the world for preventing and combating forced labor and shares the United States' objective of ensuring that goods produced through forced labor do not enter our supply chains. LeBlanc goes on to say that Canada will continue constructive exchanges with the United States on this issue, as well as on other outstanding matters over the coming weeks. The White House Correspondents' Dinner will get a do-over tonight in what's expected to be a more smaller affair. The annual event, which is celebrated as an evening to champion freedom of the press, was marred by gun violence back in April. Tonight, it'll be at a different hotel, and President Donald Trump is expected to speak to the room full of journalists. Officials say there will be more enhanced security measures. The evening also comes on the heels of the Justice Department having to quash subpoenas to several reporters at the New York Times as part of an aggressive leak investigation. There's more news ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Amanda Hicks.
Thanks so much for that, Ian. But before I get into the full forecast and what things are going to look like for this weekend, I'm sure everyone at home is very interested to know how are things shaping up for the weekend. Just want to mention Environment Canada has issued those alerts for the tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm watch for parts of the northwest. So with hail, wind gusts, rain. So just take care if you're in that area or you know folks that are. But let's get into the forecast. radar. Looking at Friday night, pretty clear. We saw a hot day out there across the Northeast, that's for sure. Saturday by noon, that's when you start to see those scattered showers, but it's nothing too significant by the time Sunday rolls around. Things are calm for the most part. A few showers here and there, but nothing too significant. Let's take a look at how much rain we're going to get by the time Sunday wraps up. Overall, nothing too significant. 18 millimeters in Wawa. That's going to be the most that we're going to see, but otherwise just a handful of showers here and there. Overnight, though, clear skies in Sudbury sitting at 14 degrees, pretty much across the board here. 13 degrees in Temiskaming Shores with clear skies. And then let's look ahead to Moosonee, and it's going to be 19 degrees, increasing cloudiness overnight. Chance of a thunderstorm in Wawa sitting at 15, and a few clouds in Gore Bay. So a pretty comfortable night across the board in the Northeast. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast, starting with Sudbury Nickel Belt. So we've got a chance of showers for tomorrow, high of 25, 26. On Sunday with a chance of showers as well, continuing into Monday. Mix of sun and cloud by Wednesday and Thursday, getting up to 26, which is the normal for this time of year. For Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, chance of showers, risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow, high of 23, 25 on Sunday with a chance of showers continuing on into Monday. Mix of sun and cloud Tuesday through Thursday, getting up to 26 as we get closer to the weekend. For Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, 5 to 8 millimeters of rain for tomorrow with a risk of thunderstorms getting up to 22, 24 on Sunday with a chance of showers continuing on into Monday. Cloudy skies rolling through the region on Tuesday with a high of 23 and then a chance of showers on Wednesday. For Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of showers for tomorrow, high of 26. Holding on to that temperature for Sunday, less chance of showers on Sunday. Hopefully we see a little bit more sunshine there. Chance of showers on Monday, continuing on into Tuesday, and then we see the sunshine return by Wednesday with a mix of sun and cloud. For North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of showers for tomorrow, high of 26. Similar chance of showers on Sunday and similar temperature out there as well. Chance of showers on Monday and continuing on into Tuesday, but similar story that we'll see Wednesday and Thursday, but by the time Thursday rolls around, we'll see sunny skies with a high of 26. And for today's weather pick of the day, look at that shot. Beautiful picture sent in by Elaine, a sunset silhouette on the Macnettawan River. Thank you so much for sending that in, Elaine. I love seeing sunset photos. Coming up after the break, no plans this weekend. There's music in Timmins, machines in North Bay, and all the things nerdy in Sudbury. We've got some ideas on how to fill your weekend coming up later in the show.
It's National Self-Care Day. Today, Independent Living Sudbury Manitoulin celebrated by offering several activities designed to support physical, mental, and emotional well-being. CTV's Elena Everson reports.
A day dedicated to wellness and relaxation at Independent Living Sudbury Manitoulin, a resource, recreation, and leisure center for people living with disabilities.
Emotional wellness, you should feel you should feel self-love for yourself. You should love yourself, and I really want them to have those awesome photos done so they can admire themselves and feel proud of how they look.
There was hand and foot care, haircuts, and several activities to learn about the pillars of self-care. 30-year-old Isabel Lemieux has cerebral palsy and is taking part in a Reiki session for the first time.
You'll basically concentrate in the area where you want to release energy. It sounds complex, but it's actually pretty simple. And before you know it, I had started thinking of all the stuff I was grateful for. And I noticed after the session that I felt happy.
Reiki is calming, relaxing, any physical pains, it helps with that. It helps clear the mind, and it helps elevate the energy of the human and clearing out any negative energy.
Members also had the chance to learn about accessible self-care practices that can be incorporated into everyday life.
I volunteer at a lot of different things, so I guess it's time to look after myself.
Highlighting that it's self-love. And then today was really special for us because it's International Self-Care Day, and I really wanted all the members to just have a day of self-care instead of just an hour, which is every Friday.
Organizers say the event is also an opportunity for members to connect, build relationships, and to prioritize their overall well-being. Ellen Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
A canoe displaying Canadian artist Tom Thompson's work is now on display at the OPP detachment in Huntsville. The Canon-titled piece was crafted for the 2023 Canoe Mural Project by the Huntsville Festival of Arts. The initiative featured artists painting live interpretations of Thompson's work and shares Indigenous stories, culture, and teachings through public art. A traditional smudging ceremony was held to bless peace. The artist says the piece of art also serves as a tribute to the children lost to residential schools. She's the oldest woman in the country. At 110 years old, Marie Rosa has seen 17 prime ministers come and go, 2 world wars, and 3 bouts of COVID during the pandemic. CTV's Omar Sajidina has her story in a new edition of Assignment Canada.
There's a quiet acceptance at this retirement home that those who move in here might not end up staying very long.
She's my little lady.
Marie Rosa knows that better than anyone. That's why the woman who believes every moment matters has mustered all her energy to take part in the celebration of a lifetime.
It's so good to meet you.
You're 71, your mom is 110. Do you realize how special this is?
Oh, I do, because I have so many friends who we've gone through the passings of all their parents.
Marie was born on September 17, 1915, during the First World War, serving as a seamstress and forewoman during the Second World War.
She's tough.
Oh, very tough.
She lived through the Great Depression, which taught her a valuable lesson.
Not wasting a thing, like you scrape the butter off the paper, you don't just unwrap it and throw it away.
What kept her going over the years was the freedom she got from hitting the road.
We would drop my dad off at work at the post office. He was an inside worker, and then we'd take the car for the day and visit an aunt or a sister or something. You enjoyed driving when you could, right? Yeah?
Car riding.
Yeah, driving, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, car driving, yes.
Yeah.
Fashion, another source of joy.
She wouldn't buy many clothes.
That's
What would
right.
she buy?
Yeah.
She loved to dress up. Yeah, you look so beautiful, Ma.
Wanting to look great hasn't changed over time.
Right.
Which brings us back to the party, the celebration, to honor her as Canada's oldest living person. A moment even marked by the passing of a crown, created by the family of the man who last carried that title. Bert Sisler died in April. His son says his father shared Marie's commitment to making things count.
They're the ones that straighten nails and use them again. You didn't waste anything.
When someone you love has lived this long, watching them slowly slip away is harder.
I'm losing her, a bit at a time, and that hurts.
Have you told her everything you want to say?
I think so. I think I have done that. Oh, maybe.
She's nodding her head.
Yeah.
But even as the body weakens, the power of how they've changed lives gets stronger.
Being able to learn and just understand the value of family and love and cherish that, I think, is incredible.
Values that now bind 4 generations.
She always tells people if she's talking that day that you got to love everybody.
The kind of love that will clearly endure.
Right? You love everybody, and they love you, yes?
Omar Sajidina, CTV News, Toronto.
Happy birthday, Marie. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. Calling all geeks, nerds, and fans of science fiction, a new convention is swinging through Sudbury. Sudbury's first ever UltraCon is underway. Fandoms will be uniting at the newest comic convention at the Radisson Hotel this weekend. Acclaimed voice and on-screen actor Gary Chalk will be chatting with fans and signing autographs throughout the weekend. Chalk has been a mainstay in Canadian television, having roles on Cold Squad and SG-1, but many recognize him from his voice. His career spans more than 30 animated series and hundreds of individual roles in cartoons, anime, and video games. Chalk says he's looking forward to meeting Sudbury fans.
I think a lot of people want to see the voices or the actors behind the voices. They want to see who does these things, and it's very exciting for them to meet you face to face because you were their childhood, as this fellow was saying earlier. It's your childhood.
Celebrity guest Peter Williams of Stargate SG-1 fame will also be on hand this weekend. The event features a large board and video gaming area, and people are encouraged to dust off their finest cosplays. UltraCon wraps up Sunday. A new attraction is coming to North Bay this weekend. Machinery gives everyday folks a chance to use heavy equipment to crush, dig, and otherwise be destructive.
I'm like, wow, this is crazy that Canada doesn't have something like this. So we started looking around, looking into it. I'm like, well, I think I could bring this to Canada. And then we looked around for some funding programs, and NOHFC came to the table and said, we will be happy to partner with you on this as a tourism grant to sort of bring this kind of entertainment to the north, and it sort of snowballed from there.
Machinery opens to the public tomorrow. Reservations are required and can be made through their website. Well, the gates have finally opened at this year's Rock on the River Festival in Timmins. Excitement for the 10th edition has been building for some time in the city, with organizers announcing just 2 weeks ago they surpassed the attendance record for Friday, selling more tickets than ever before. The Offspring will head the record-breaking show tonight with performances by Plus and Fortunate Losers. Country Night with Russell Dickerson gets underway Saturday. Organizers say it's shaping up to be a big year.
Well, I'm excited for both nights, but I've seen the Offspring 4 times personally, and I'm just so happy that they've come to Timmins. It's just it's one band that our whole committee was completely agreeing to, because there's debates on who we're gonna get or who we're gonna try to put an offer to, but the Offspring is always hands down, of course, as if everyone loves the Offspring. So very excited for them.
Should be a great night. Tickets are reportedly still available at the gate. Northern Ontario's own Shania Twain was on CTV's Your Morning today talking about her new album, Little Miss Twain. Twain says the album is an homage to the start of career when she performed in local bars here in the north. She told Your Morning host Anne-Marie Meadowake what it was like writing the album.
I was reflecting back on things that made me laugh and chuckle and made me happy, remembering all of the great things about the north.
We used to share my things with all my neighbors and my siblings. I don't work all night to spend my nickels and my dimes.
And shout out to Timmins, Ontario, by the way.
Timmins, Ontario.
Shout out to Timmins indeed. Twain says the new album features some backup vocals from her 24-year-old son, Asia. Little Miss Twain is out now. A new movie is showing in North Bay tonight, featuring some cities that might look familiar. The Outer Threat was shot in North Bay and Powassan. The sci-fi thriller explores family, discovery, and the consequences of revealing a world-changing secret. The film stars American actors Constance Wu and William Fichtner, but was shot with a northern crew. The movie will be showing tonight at the North Bay Cineplex. An award-winning streaming series is coming to an end. David Daniel has that and more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
It sounds like the drama at the network is juicier than the drama on the network.
Fans of The Morning Show will get one more round of juicy drama. Apple TV has announced the 5th and final season of the show, starring Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, will debut in 2027.
Eurydice was a hungry young girl.
Your ticket.
And Hades gave her a choice to make.
Hadestown has gone from Tony-winning stage smash to a movie version in theaters for 5 nights only. But Broadway's original Hades, Patrick Page, says he has another medium in mind for the story.
I always thought from the beginning that it cried out for some kind of animated treatment, and I still do. I still think it would be an extraordinary piece for an animator.
There's definitely some things in the movie that were true, but then we take it in a whole different direction.
Weird Al Yankovic's career has gone a lot of directions, but one way the Grammy-winning parody master decided not to go was Saudi Arabia. Yankovic tells Pittsburgh's Trib Live he was offered 7 figures for a show at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, but, quote, "I don't need to take any amount of money if it makes me feel icky," and that kind of did. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
CN Rail reported financial results with revenue up 11% in its latest quarter. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez reports.
Revenue for the second quarter was $4.75 billion, and that beat expectations. American tariffs and tariff threats have been an overhang for Canadian National. Still, Canada's largest rail reported higher revenue on grain and fertilizer shipping, as well as petroleum and chemicals. Controlling costs has also helped CN. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar down to $70.92 US. West Texas Intermediate down over $3 to $89.34 US a barrel. Western Canadian Select is up to $71.94. And the TSX gained 176 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $2.86, closing the day at $4,052.70 US an ounce. Silver up 52 to end the day at 58.16. Copper up a penny, $6.20, and nickel up 2 cents, ending the day at $7.78 US a pound. Amanda is back now for one last look at the weekend weather. All right, Amanda, impress us.
Well, Ian, it's a bit of a weather lottery across the Northeast with some pop-up showers to be expected. So we've got between 22 to 25 degrees chance of showers in Sudbury, 5 to 8 millimeters of rain in Timmins, and then a stronger chance of showers in Sault Ste. Marie. In North Bay, we have a chance of showers, as well as Parry Sound and Temiskaming Shores sitting at 26 degrees. So, Ian, if you're gardening, you might want to just plan those breaks around heading back inside if there's a shower here or two.
Good advice. Thanks, Amanda. Well, finally for us tonight, after a wedding ceremony last year, 2 miniature Highland cows in southwestern Ontario have welcomed a baby calf. However, as CTV's Alexandra Hollick tells us, just like with human relationships, the pair had to overcome some hurdles.
It was just over a year ago that Muriel and Rhett joined together in holy matrimony for a first-of-its-kind cow wedding. Hosted at Utterly Ridiculous Farm in Oxford County, the nuptials drew big crowds and produced a big bundle of joy.
We have the most beautiful little baby Joe from the 2 of them.
Baby Joe was born in March, happy, healthy, and with his best hoof forward.
You would think happy ending, everything is perfect, but like in any relationship, there were some struggles. Rhett, unfortunately, has had an affair with Muriel's best friend, Cookie. And we know this without a doubt now because she had a baby.
When Ginger Snap was born earlier this month, the 2-timing bull was put out to pasture.
I've been talking to Rhett about rebuilding trust and what it takes for a long-lasting relationship. It's going to take some time.
The couple is back in the same corral for now.
Muriel, is there any chance that you'll take Rhett back? It's too soon to say.
In the meantime, the farm has seen a boost in visitors hoping to catch the cast of 4-legged characters all with their own personalities.
We've named it Days of Our Livestock because that's just what it's become. But we have seen a lot of people coming really wanting to meet the couple, which has been really nice to see.
The hope here on the farm is that Muriel and Rhett will move past this and go on to greener pastures with baby Joe and the rest of their growing family. Alexandra Hullock, CTV News, Oxford County.
That Brett, what a load of bull. That's a look at your Friday evening. Make sure to tune in tonight at 11:30. I'll be off, so Amanda Hicks will be on the desk with your late night news. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you Monday. Good night.